Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me as part of today's session, and very good evening to all of you. I am very grateful for this opportunity and the platform of Diaspora Diaries, as well as Embassy of India in Hungary and Amrit Mahotsav Cultural Center, to which I am able to express my thoughts about this topic today. Diaspora Diaries is a series of sessions covering various topics across multiple streams. And as part of today's topic, we will be discussing about the woman empowerment and two unsung heroes who are epitome of woman empowerment. You might have come across a lot of speeches, sessions regarding woman empowerment, and questions started popping up in my mind why we are specifically talking about empowering a woman. Do we have this question since the creation of this world, and are we on a journey to enhance a human being which is a female soul in a different way? While I was researching on this topic, I came across few mantras which most of you might know. या देवी सर्वभूतेषु बुद्धिरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः, which means the goddess who is in all beings is abiding in the form of intelligence. Salutations to her again and again. या देवी सर्वभूतेषु शक्तिरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः. The goddess who is in all beings is abiding in the form of power. Salutations to her again and again. या देवी सर्वभूतेषु कान्तिरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः. The goddess who is in all beings is abiding in the form of beauty. Salutations to her again and again. या देवी सर्वभूतेषु लक्ष्मीरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः. The goddess who is in all beings is abiding in the form of prosperity. Salutations to her again and again. While chanting all these mantras, we realize that thousands of years ago, how ancient Vedic literature is acknowledging that the divine energy in the cosmos, who is responsible for intelligence, power, beauty, and prosperity, is nothing but a goddess, a feminine soul. For further exploration, I came across few names like Gargi Vachaknavi. Gargi Vachaknavi was an ancient Indian sage and philosopher in 8th century BC. Rishi Gargi was the oldest icon of feminism found in the ancient texts. He has been extensively quoted in the Vedas and Upanishads. It is a reflection of the glorious and progressive old Vedic age where women could uplift themselves and achieve great heights. He was honored as one of the Navratnas in the court of King Janaka. He also participated in the Brahma Yajna, a philosophical debate organized by King Janaka, perplexing questions on the issue of Atman. Another prominent name is Maitreyi. He was another ancient sage of same era and known as one of the most learned and virtuous women of ancient India. While we are discussing about the education of the woman in the ancient era, Brahmavadini is a term that I came across. Brahma means Veda and Vadini means ones who recites it. So the women who were reciting Vedas are called as Brahmavadini. Also, there was a system for the formal education start where the sacred head ceremony called Upanayana was conferred on both girls and boys of all castes at the age of 7. After that, they were admitted to Vedic educational institutions known as Gurukuls. Also in Rigveda, it contains hymns which are written by 27 women scholars. While we are discussing about the educational aspects, history also tells us stories about women warriors. Jijamata, who helped and encouraged Shivaji Maharaj to realize his dream of establishing his own kingdom, Swaraj. Rani Durgavati, who was the ruling queen of Gondwana. Maharani Tarabai, who was the formidable queen of the Maratha Empire. Rani Lakshmibai, who was one of the leaders of the First War of Independence. Rani Abakka, who was the ruler of Ulal and was the first Tuluva queen and was called the first woman freedom fighter of India. Again, a question, why we are talking about women empowerment today when we have so much history recognizing women as scholars as well as warriors? To understand this, we have to go through the concept of energy and composition of human characteristics. We can categorize the energy at high level into two forms, feminine and masculine. So creativity, emotional, nurturing, pleasure-driven energies depict feminine qualities, while achieving logical thinking, rational thinking are masculine qualities. Masculine energy is all about doing. It's action-oriented, whereas feminine energy is about being and creative intuition. While we talk about leaders, what are the first qualities those come into our mind? Strength. Leaders should be able to organize and encourage a group to get things done. Competitiveness. Leaders should work hard to be successful. Assertiveness. Leader should be able to express his thoughts and ideas in a self-assured, considerate way. Leader should be having risk-taking abilities. He should be resilient and decisive. Those are all masculine qualities of leader. But the other aspect is equally important to become a successful leader. Empathy, being sensitive to the thoughts and feeling of others. Vulnerability, owing up to one's limitations and asking for help. Humility, seeking to serve others and to share credit. Generosity, being liberal with time, contacts, advice, and support. Intuitions and patience. All these falls into feminine qualities of leadership. Nowadays, in the leadership training programs, a lot of stress has been given on mastering the feminine qualities, as it is an important aspect to become a visionary leader or achiever in any field. There is a movement towards inviting more feminine aspects into our lives, state of being rather than doing, such as through stillness, meditation, and tapping into our intuitions and creative processes. It clearly shows that how important it is to balance out these qualities in a human life. We all have masculine and feminine energy in our energy body. Both male and female can tap into both essences of the masculine and feminine energy. What happened in the next decades? As civilization progressed and masculinity gained more importance, society, education system stressed more on gaining masculinity. Women and men both had to prove their masculine strengths to become powerful and successful. Also, success is measured in terms of masculinity. Economy became more important than other aspects of life. At the same time, less opportunities were given to feminine souls and women, and they got restricted access to economy and major decisions of life. This resulted in male-dominant society structure. Number itself is the story that approximately 65% of Indian women are literate compared to 82% of men. Employers tend to interpret men's assertive behavior in the workplace as strong, commanding, and direct, but when women display the same assertiveness, their employers often see them as aggressive, bossy, and shrill. There are stereotypes that label women as indecisive or emotional. Professional women frequently experience limited access to established networks, in which professional men often participate. This turns women into outsiders and hinders their ability to communicate, belong, and establish themselves as equals with their male colleagues and bosses. Historical sexism and gender bias have resulted in structural barriers that serves as obstacles to women trying to climb the rungs of the corporate ladder. When we talk about family responsibilities, women are more likely than males to leave their jobs to raise a family. Women who take maternity leave or quit their jobs to have a child have to plan their workplace exit and re-entry, maintain touch with the networks, and stay up to date on technological and workplace developments. The more senior the position, the more duties there are. As a result, female employees are often afraid to move to high places and purposefully avoid the top opportunities. While these all hurdles are there, we see a remarkable trends of Indian women in all fields. I will be naming few today. If you have watched movie named Mission Mangal, Ritu was one of the real face behind the story of India's Mars orbiter mission Mangalyaan. Ritu Karidhal completed her aerospace engineering from Indian Institute of Science and working for ISRO since 1997. Mangalyaan made India the fourth country in the world to reach Mars. He is also a mission director of the Chandrayaan 2. In her interview, she mentions how her parents trusted her intelligence and supported her to complete her studies. Contribution has taken India to new heights. Indra Nooyi is considered as one of the most successful CEO. For dozens of years, she is one of the world's most admired CEOs. The first woman of color and immigrant to run a Fortune 50 company, and one of the foremost strategic thinkers of our time. She joined PepsiCo in 1994 and named CEO in 2006. She transformed PepsiCo with a unique vision, a vigorous pursuit of excellence, and a deep sense of purpose. Since 2008 to 2017, she appeared in Forbes, the world's 100 most powerful women. She is also on boards of Amazon and the International Cricket Council. She recently launched her book, My Life in Full, and Nui talks about the difficulties that came with managing her demanding job with a growing family and what she learned along the way, how she built her own ecosystem. She makes a clear, actionable, urgent call for business and government to prioritize the care ecosystem, paid leave, and work flexibility, and a convincing argument for how improving company and community support for young family builders will unleash the economy's full potential. Lieutenant General Madhuri Kanitkar is the most senior woman officer of Indian Army. Lieutenant General Kanitkar compared her journey in the armed forces to a quote by Japanese writer Haruki Murakami, who said, "And once the storm is over, you won't remember how you made it through, how you managed to survive. You won't even be sure whether the storm is really over." A soldier, a doctor, a teacher. He has taken on all these roles with determination and pride. He mentions that competence is the only factor which makes you recognized. He further adds that the armed forces predominantly have male workers, but not dominated by gender stereotypes. All her roles, be it a soldier, teacher, or doctor, has nothing to do with gender. Gender should not come in the way of the choice of a career. He advises the young woman that whichever career you choose, don't think yourself any lesser. You do not need to be like a man. You are able and capable as a woman. At the same time, once a path is chosen, pursue the journey with dedication, passion, and perseverance. He was awarded with a Param Visishta Seva medal in January 2022. We say cricket is a religion in India. How many of us know that the top run scorer in women's cricket is an Indian? Mithali is nicknamed as Lady Tendulkar of Indian women's cricket. Captain of Indian women's cricket team, Mithali Raj, is the highest run scorer in one-day internationals, and she is the only female cricketer to surpass the 7,000 run mark. He is the first player to score 7 consecutive 50s in one-day internationals and also holds the record for most half centuries in women's one-day internationals. He has a record of highest individual run score of 214 in the Test cricket. He received Padma Shri in year 2015 by Indian government. For the last 23 years, she is serving Indian women's cricket team with 100% commitment. She became the first woman to complete 20 years in international cricket. Moving on to Sindhutai Sapkal, who is also known as Mother of Orphans. He has dedicated 40 continuous years for social work. He has received more than 750 awards and nurtured more than 1,500 orphan kids. He got married at the age of 12 and has 3 sons by age of 20. Abject poverty, responsibilities, and an early marriage forced her to quit formal education when she passed 4th grade. She was abandoned from her family. He started begging on streets, and for shelters, he stayed in cremation areas. While surviving in those conditions, he realized the pain of orphans. Sindhutai would work wholeheartedly for orphans, destitutes, and other less fortunate. She poured out her motherly love and affection on orphans, and she took them under her wings. She gave them food and shelter in whatever way she could. She nurtured over 1,500 orphan kids and ensured they get educated. Many of the children whom she adopted are well-educated lawyers, lecturers, and some, including her biological daughter, are running their own independent orphanages. One of her children is doing a PhD on her life. She has been honored with more than 750 awards for her dedication and work, and she used the award money to buy land to make a home for her orphan children. Because of her dedication and sacrifice, today children have their own building in Pune with all facilities like computer room, solar system, water filter, library, study room, and all required facilities. A Marathi film, Me Sindhutai Sakpal, released in 2010, is a biopic inspired by the true story of Sindhutai Sakpal. The film was selected for world premiere at the 54th London Film Festival. After all these examples, I feel as a society we need to acknowledge human aspect of life over gender. We need to be responsible human and create the necessary ecosystem so that every other human can live and prosper. Nowadays, new generation is understanding that household tasks, family responsibilities are not confined to only one gender, but both members has to equally contribute. We have to accept and acknowledge contributions of men as well as women with equal spirit in all domains and make sure that inclusiveness is all around us. Women also need to step up and learn domains like finance to become independent as well as dream big and pursue them with 100% commitment. When we understand that every mother, wife, and daughter has equal importance as every father, husband, and son, we as a community eventually leading to a long leap towards a bright future. On this note, I would like to thank you all for your time and listening to me and wish you a very pleasant day ahead. Thank you so much.